Hello, one and all, and welcome to Resurrection Cup. Here for our first streamed match of the tournament. I am Hubba Wubba. Joining me on the commentary and streaming side is going to be Affirmed Cheese. And I'm excited for this tournament, man. It's some classic team showdowns.
Yeah, we definitely have a special one here for y'all tonight. We have Unks and neph versus Gatoland. We have the 9th seed versus the 23rd seed, but looking at qualifying scores, I expect this to be kind of a close one regardless of seeding. So, you know, there's definitely some scores out there where they're super close out of qualifying. So we'll see what happens when we go into this round of 32 match. And it looks like we are about to get into the roles here. So I'm going to switch it to this next map we'll see just a little bit, but this is my third year casting this tournament. I'm very excited to bring out this first stream match for y'all. So I guess we'll get into everything here now.
Yeah, and here we are with our banning phase. First roll gonna be coming from PA, and unsure if it's gonna be enough to win it on the 56, but you know.
Actually, before that, Monte did roll out a 63-point roll, so yeah, I believe Gatoland will have the decision at the either first ban, first pick, second man, second pick. It is round 32, so it is best out of 9, and only one ban. No protects in this tournament. It's just you know, just classic rules here.
Yeah, and if you are on the side of either team, really, I feel like the main shoutouts for these teams are going to be hidden. Hidden is going to be a contested skill set on both ends, with players like Aleph and Fie versus a team like Lyramin and Vitor Skull. Both of those core members very strong on the hiddens, on the hard rocks. Going to be the most contested skill set. Wouldn't be surprised to see a reading ban come out from either or.
Yeah, I expect probably a read ban from Gatoland that did get like 580k out of quals. Unks and neph, on the other hand, did get about 1 million out of quals. So I could see the hidden 2 ban from Gatoland. They're just not the reading team, which, you know, does make sense. So, but so far, it looks like hopefully we're getting some of these problems fixed up here. As we have not got a decision on whether Unks and neph or Gatoland will be first ban, first pick. So I do know you see the thing on the map poll, but it's not quite decided quite yet. So still waiting on it.
Yeah, as for, I mean, as I am fortunate enough to be a player in this tournament, so as for the qualifiers hidden too, that map is like, unironically 8 stars. That map is so difficult, so I don't blame them for that 500k team score there. That is just a rough go of it. In comparison, this round of 32 hidden 2, a lot more accessible, a lot more learnable. Just a couple of tries and you're going to be getting the hang of it. A couple stack rhythms here and there, some cheeky doubles. Shouldn't be too bad for either side. Some of the more skill cappy maps in this pool, you're going to be looking at something like the DT2 density snap ult is going to be very contested. Or if you are a higher seed team, you may want to get rid of that DT3 because in terms of the tapping in this pool, it feels a lot more accessible. It's just some 270 bursts. I mean, I can barely read no mod, and I got a 800k score on that, so do with that what you will.
Yeah, looks like we finally got our decisions here. Looks like Unks and neph will have the first ban and first pick, so we're going to be waiting on that to come out. But I expect Unks and neph to ban out, actually, something control-wise, like no mod 3, no mod 4, or maybe some aim like hidden 1. Those are skill sets that I think Gatoland has got Unks and neph beat on, so those are probably one of the bans I would see coming out of Unks and neph. Gatoland, I can really only see hidden 2. I say everything else kind of basing it off qualifiers statistics, you know. Oh, we actually get a no mod 2 ban actually coming from Unks and neph. Interesting enough, getting rid of some of that I guess flow aim tapping out of here. It's gonna be Gatoland's ban. Expect to head into, but we'll see.
Yeah, that Nomad 2 is interesting because the first, like, third of the map is, like, this kind of Axel decel flow bursts, and then the stamina really kicks in the second half, and that kind of side-by-side volatility, not gonna be what you're looking for in a Nomad 2, especially against a team like Vitor, Skull, Monty, Isobaya, and it is going to be the DT2 for Gatoland, which is very interesting to me, that Density Snap all pick falling to the wayside. You mentioned that Gatoland has a control edge, and that is probably the most control-oriented map in this pool. So probably
Well,
just worried about the difficulty of it in comparison.
let's say DT2 is one of the more difficult maps of the pools, but still, I think like stuff like Nomad 3, Nomad 4, I think Gatoland should have a grasp on. Probably not a strong grasp. They are definitely going up against a way higher seeded team than they are in the first round of Resurrection Cup 2025. But yeah, it's gonna be a first pick come out, Ungsen Neph. After seeing the DT2 ban, did they pick a DT map potentially? DT3, maybe DT1. I know DT2 isn't too heavy on mechanics, so this will have to see.
Yeah, DT1 as well. DT1 is probably the purest aim map in this pool. Hidden 1 feeling a little bit more hybrid. Nomad 1 having some structure difficulty. But DT1 is the raw aim pick. If there is an aim advantage to be had, that would be the play to go for. But as for tapping, of course, DT3 Fremont 2 up in the air. That Fremont 2 looking at CS3 AR9, but no, it's going to be the Hard Rock 2. And this is going to be the precision pull for Unks and Neph in their first pick.
Really consider Hard Rock, to be honest, as one of the first picks here, but if you're the higher skill cap team, I can definitely see the Hard Rock picks coming from Unks and Neph. And yeah, it's gonna be our very first pick map out of the whole tournament here, Resurrection Cup 2025. So we'll see how this goes. It is a different format from last year. The previous years, it's been 4v4 teams out of 8. The tournament organizers did change it up to 3v3 teams out of 6. So. And yeah, and this is actually one of the custom songs too, so definitely a base pick here coming from Unks and Neph. And I don't think any of the custom songs or custom maps are banned out, if I remember correctly. Actually, I think Nomad 2 is a custom map.
Oh no, Nomad 2 is a very old tournament map.
Oh, okay, yeah, base ban then, not getting rid of the customs.
Yeah, Hard Rock 2 custom song, custom map made by Selectus for this Res Cup pool. Hard Rock 2 first pick. I am not opposed to this pick, as Unks and Neph. It feels like this Gatoland team gonna be really strong on hidden, really strong on double time, but Unks and Neph, they have Kahest, Ira, and Fie, and that is a devilish trio for precision and for Hard Rock in general. I mean, Kahest, one of the more standout Hard Rock players in 4-digit at the moment. So, gonna be interesting to see how they perform. First map streamed in Resurrection Cup.
All right, I think we got almost all the players in here. Yeah, so from Unks and Neph, gonna have Kahest, Fie, and Aira, if I'm not mistaken on the pronunciation there, for Unks and Neph. Gatoland got Nikor or Nekori, I have no clue. Fighter Skull and Monty. I expect Fie and Kahest to probably perma lobby a lot of this matchup here. They're one of the more experienced tournament players, I believe, in this matchup here, so I expect to see some good stuff from them.
Yeah, each roster on the board. Monty, Nikore, Vitor, Skull versus Fie, Ira, and Kahest as predicted. And, I mean, on the side of Unks and Neph, Kahest is a player I've gone against a handful of times, and he just has not missed on a Hard Rock 2 in every match I've played against him. So, I am doubtful that it'll start in this round of 32. Okay, I've cursed him. He's already slider broken. It's the slow section that he's slider broken.
Oh man, blame
Oops.
Hubba for that one, not me. I had
my
nothing
fault.
to do with that. But yeah, very first pick map out of the whole tournament. We get the custom song here on Hard Rock 2, which is a banger from my... Ooh. It's going to be made by Trung Nova. I think... Wasn't there other... I thought there was other composers here on this song, but no. All right, so we will be seeing some breaks come out of Era here, along with trade by Nakor. There goes Fighter's Skull. And right now, it's pretty much neck and neck between Monte and Kahes. And there goes a break from Monte. No more combo on the side of Gatoland. It's just Kahes all by himself, leading by a small difference of about 20k. And looks like the overlay might be a little bit broken here because it's not currently showing the score difference. So we'll try to play it by ear here, and maybe if I give it a refresh, that could work.
Yeah, but I mean, despite early breaks, Kahes pulling through towards this towards the tail end of this first third. Now 400 combo, highest in the lobby, matched by Vitor School and Nakori. Now as VA finds that break, it is the double combo to just Ira, who's running a solo ship at the moment. The 200k on him, and another break for Kahes. Going to be evening this out with these combos here. You're gonna see some of these recoveries start to build up. Ira doing some solo work, but it may not be enough in the long run for an early break point if these combos keep up.
Yeah, right now it's Era carrying the team, but Nekori is there matching along with Vitor's score. I can see this coming back to the side of Gatoland if, you know, nothing happens here. But right now they have the combo, very big combo lead at that too.
Yeah, it's gonna be the accuracy on Era putting in a lot of work. They're being slightly toned down by Monty, but the score lead on Nakori in comparison to Kahes is going to do it, but there it goes, the double break, and that's going to be enough now with Ira on the 700 combo, Kahes with the 400 recovery, and the triple break on the side of Gatoland is going to be a confirmed first pick for the team. Just a quarter remaining, but I mean, these combos are undeniable, as we see the score difference now already a 200k and climbing.
Alrighty, finally got the overlay working here. Thank you, Tosu, for... Alright, oh, and yeah, it's just a huge lead here. Really not enough, I believe. It's not going to be enough to come back from a almost 400k deficit. And yeah, as we get to the ending patterns here, Unks will be getting their first point on the board on their very first pick.
Yeah,
just waiting to get past these sliders.
Handful of slow sliders for the road, but that is going to be a very strong score from Era. That 99% one slider break, I believe. Incredible stuff for putting the team on the back. It's going to be a 3 miss, which makes that accuracy even more impressive. But solid scores all around for Unks and neph. The consistency from Gatoland, not bad here, but that is definitely a standout skill set of the higher seeded team.
All right, let's see what we're gonna get out of Gatoland here. Very, very curious on how they come back from this.
Yeah, solid first pick there. I would imagine a hidden one would be the play from Gatoland. Just go completely opposite direction. Go for this kind of control tapping kind of hybrid hidden one map. It's a very interesting song choice wise for this hidden one. You have a lot of like this spoken word of kind of vocals that you have to align some of the rhythm with. And a couple 1/3 checks as well. Awkward angles on the aim. Overall, just really solid stuff. But no, they're going to go for the other aim map. It's going to be DT1, just going for the raw comfort aim. Near 7 stars, post DT, AR10, very comfortable stats. Just very obtuse angles, wide angle aim.
All right, and yeah, any predictions I try to make are just going out the window right here. I figure it's gonna be Unks and neph to pick into DT, but no, it's gonna be Gatoland picking into the DT1. I believe this is a custom map, if I'm not mistaken, for this tournament. Another custom. We have lots of customs, honestly. That's just what Res Cup is all about. But yeah, this one's just gonna be our just gonna be DT aim here. Nothing too crazy. I expect Gatoland to be a lot stronger on a lot of the aim picks, so you know DT1 does make sense. I would also expect the hidden one, no mod one, probably save that in their back pocket for later, but they do first pick into the DT1.
Yeah, and I mean, comfortable stat line. You're looking at CS4 AR 10, OD just a little under 10, and Freedom Dive BPM 222 on a 1OK rock song.
Just have to throw that out there. Yeah, same BPM as Freedom Dive, which, you know, it seems kind of on the lower side, actually.
Yeah, for a DT1, this is pretty low. That DT3 is going to be the main high BPM pick of the pool. That DT3 is 270 BPM, kind of tapping snap hybrid. But this map going to be focused solely on the wide angle aim, 7 stars. Gonna see how it pulls through, and I mean, we're seeing another one of these Unks and neph core players hop in the lobby now that the Hard Rock is out of the way. Aleph on road, and same roster for Gatoland as that HR2. It's gonna be Monty, Nikore, and Vitor Skull in lobby. Monty with the first break of the lobby for a trade with Aleph. Accuracy advantage to Gatoland.
Yeah, no substitutions from Gatoland. Same core 3 roster. Of course, VA and Kess stay in for Unks and neph. So, yeah, obviously, Aleph, very, very famous tournament players coming out of Spain here. He's been playing OWC for Spain for quite a while, and it's usually in here for these DT picks. Looks like he just had a slight little mishap there in the beginning, but we'll be taking this one back in his hands here. It is a 40K difference for Unks and neph, and I'm trying not to get a seizure from looking at the score difference right now.
He's having a good time. He's dancing along to the music. Nikore finding that break in the second half there. Gonna be the main reason for this lead now on the side of Unks and neph. As Kahest and PA still holding on to the double FC. Vitor Skull running a solo ship at this halfway point. If we see any misses here, it is going to cut that potential score down tremendously, and it's VA to do so right at the tail end of that halfway point. Final third of the map remaining, and recovery combos on the side of Gatoland have built up. This 40k on double time with the score multiplier going to be very easy to come back from, and we're already seeing it shrink down. 10k remaining, and no further breaks in the slow section. Give a dog a bone, but it's a Gato in this situation, as Gatoland reclaim the score lead, and one key eye remains. Big aim section now. Kahest is the one to fall for that final FC on Unks and neph, and it's a full team wipeout for a very strong first pick on the side of Gatoland as they find their entry into this match through the aim.
Yeah, this is just a solid performance here from Gatoland. Knew what they're going into when they picked this DT1. And there goes Fire Score Monte. Neko's there to hold on to the combo in the end, but not going to matter as, you know, they led by over 500k after that 3-way wipe from Unks and neph there. Do see some very big scores coming out of a lot of these players, but it does not compare to a 2.9 mil score. What a performance here, especially from Vitor Skull. Only missing out on his slider break, actually.
Yeah, the one slider break towards the tail end. Nikore closing out the end there. I mean, 902k being the lowest score on your team is no small feat at all. Double S rank and the A on Monty with the 3 miss early, but strong first picks on each side. Very confident first picks on each side. Wins for each respective team, but it's Unks and neph to bring it back again. And I mean, we're seeing it's opposite day in terms of your predictions here. Jeez, it's Nomad 3 from Unks and nephs.
Yeah, kind of funny here. You know, I did, you know, do my due diligence to kind of see the breakdown of these teams, and clearly it's just a different map pool. What can I say? This round of 32, which is the SR is definitely a lot lower than what it was of qualifiers. So no, Unks and neph could be feeling good on a lot of the control picks this time around as compared to qualifiers map pool. And it looks like we're already good to go by these players here. We're seeing the golfs in the chat here. And it looks like well, we do see Lurman come in for Gatoland. I'm surprised he hasn't been playing here yet, but will be appearing for the first time in Resurrection Cup 2025. No roster changes for Unks and neph. Actually, Fia does come out and Yura does come in.
Yeah, it's gonna be Ira over Fie here. And I have a feeling that's mainly just due to the lower SR of some of these maps. Maybe a skill cap oriented player like Fie would be a little less comfortable, especially with some of these control patterns. You're looking at a handful of wiggles, some geometry as well on some of the axles, but a very simple act difference, double SS rather, held on for Unks and neph early on for this slight score difference. But you're already starting to see some of these patterns very dense, very overlapish in nature. You kind of have to cut through the cloth here to see a lot of those overlaps, but all players hitting that first triangle as we head into the key eye.
It's kind of interesting to actually see Unks and neph ban out the no mod 2, which has a lot of flowing in it, but they pick into the no mod 3, which also has flowing, but it's a lot more stricter on some of the snapping, op patterns in no mod 3. And might add that this is also a custom map by Iron Cat. So thanks to her for the no mod 3 map. And it looks like it's a 6-way FC right now. I guess it's just too easy for the pool for these players, I guess. It's only a 50k score difference favoring Gatoland, just due to the accuracy. But we'll see if we ever find any breaks here. Also, wouldn't mind seeing this go to a 6-way FC, might I add.
Yeah, it's that first break from Aleph, actually. I completely missed that about 300 combo ago, I suppose. But Aleph with the break is breakpoint inbound. As another one comes through, it's a triple break from Unks and neph. As Gatoland looking to get the breakpoint early, which is massive for the seed difference. Again, we mentioned earlier, this is a seed 9 versus seed 23 matchup. So Gatoland looking to play foul to this Unks and neph team. As I mean, your prediction is still in theory true. The control is still so in favor of Gatoland. As the double FC is finally held, Learman finds a little bit of an overaim on the slider head there. But Vitor, Skull, and Nikori making quick work of this map. 500k remaining and a second break from Ira. I mean, just a sliver of map remaining means this pick is all but over.
Yeah, we got about a fifth of the map left. 600k score difference, not going to be comebackable. Lurman find another break, but it's going to be Neko and Vitor Skull to hold on to the double FC here. And yeah, this is just going to be an absolute festival for Gatoland. They're going to be taking on the very first breakpoint in this tourney. And against a seed 9, no less, as being the seed 23. Might I add, did we get a D seed here in this tournament? No.
I mean, I feel like that calls, well, first off, solid FCs from Nikore and Vitor Skull, matching accuracies, each on 6/100s twin mode for Gatoland. Just a 2k score difference off the back of some of those sliders. But it kind of calls into question that DT2 ban. It's a very similar map. You have the snap alt patterns, but on a slightly higher AR, I guess. I don't know. And how dominant that win was calls into question the ban. But on the plus side, I think that ban was the reason why they picked that no mod 3. They're like, oh, they must not be feeling good on alt today. Let's pick the alt map. And then it just completely went the way of Gatoland. So now they're going to try to consolidate this breakpoint. They still have a DT3 on the table, as well as that hidden 1 if they wanted to go into either of those comfortable avenues.
I wonder if we're ever going to see any free mods. I don't suspect them get picked out here real soon. Honestly, I think both these teams are probably going to stay away from it. Well, if Gatoland does end up winning the DT3, and they do go with the hidden 1, all in all, which isn't a surprise. Honestly, we've been kind of been hammering it in your guys' heads for so long here. But I can see a potential like free mod 3 pick from Gatoland if they do win out the DT3. Those are both the mechanics maps.
For sure, that free mod one, I feel like the free mod one is going to be more in favor of Unks and neph, but this hidden one is very interesting. You have a similar SR to the No Mod 3 here, and you have this kind of 200 BPM burst patterns, a couple axe out decels, some awkward aim involved as well, alongside these like very rhythmic 1/3s that come up through the map through these like spoken word vocals. So a little bit of practice involved with this map, and at least in comparison to the consistency that they've already proved that they have, Gatoland looking to keep up that streak. But this is currently the No Mod 3 song playing, so maybe a little bit of tweaking needs to be had.
Alrighty, and looks like our almost done here. We need to get the looks like Monte's still hanging around here. See who the third is. I suspect to be Fie of all people for Unks and neph. Yeah, there they are. We got Neko, Vitoskool, and Lurman. Lurman in here for the third map. Neko, Vitoskool have not gotten anywhere. And they pretty much stayed in here for the entire lobby, this entire match. So let's see. Aim map underway here is going to be our kind of our awkward aim type mapping. Let's see how this goes out for them. And oh, actually, I do got a little bit of a mishap here. Just give me a second. I got a reset client.
Reset for the road.
Alrighty, I believe we are good to go here. Sorry about that. We did miss about a fifth of the map here, but hopefully we'll make it up to y'all with a very strong fought match. Right now it is in favor of Unks and neph right now. It's 3 FCs versus 2. But, you know, this is kind of what we suspected out of Gatoland here. Be a lot stronger on a lot of these aim picks. And there's another break coming from the left here. But, oh, there goes the trade from Vitoskool. I did not realize that earlier. So it's 2 FCs versus 2 FCs. Very slight score lead for Lurman, or for Gatoland. And yeah, we'll see how it goes out from here. Slight combo lead for Gatoland, and overall better accuracy on the side of Gatoland also. So they do hold that trio of advantage here right now. And we're now finished with the first third of the map. 2/3 left to go as we get into this slightly slower section of the map. Kind of, I guess you could say free combo, but not really.
The thing is, the patterns in this map and the rhythm choices are so awkward. Even the slow sections, they don't feel like free combo. Everything here is very control-oriented, very like demanding of your focus, because if you lose focus for just a moment, you're gonna miss-aim one of these awkward obtuse angles. And the 1/3 pattern is a triple break from Gatoland, and that's what I was worried about. That's where the practice comes in, those 1/3 patterns that will strike out a whole team. And I mean, Nekore and Lurman, those FCs fall to the wayside. Kahest and Fie. Kahest not so known for his hitting, but putting in the work now alongside Fie with the double FC for Unks and neph, trying to get their get back on the breakpoint side. It's a build up prior to our second TI now. And I mean, this is very dangerous situation for Gatoland.
Yeah, it's still the double FC, barely any recovery from Gatoland right now. And we're on the verge of seeing a double FC. Okay, no one gets slow-sided here, thankfully. So there was practice, but it looks like it just wasn't enough for Gatoland to hit the 1/3. Oh, what was that? Kahest getting tripped up on the 1/3s himself. But Fier is still there with the FC. We'll keep them on the board here. And we'll see. Get into the streams. These streams are pretty easy to hit though. It's nothing too crazy. Really no aim involved. I'd say these are more bursts. And honestly, you can just hit these little wiggle streams normally for the most part. And it looks like it doesn't really catch up anyone here. Everyone hits it. Still got the FC on the board from Fier. Recovery from a left Kahes. Fire Skull. Lurman. There goes Neko. And with a sliver of the map left and 400k score lead, this point will be going to Unks and neph. They're going to equalize it and go back-to-back break points here in this match. So far, look like a very competitive match. Although it is a C9 versus C23. This is as close as it gets, right? Right, Hubba?
Yeah, I mean, trading out the break points early, second pick for each goes to the other team towards the tail end of this map. Yeah, not going to be closing out the FC, but more than enough work put in. It was that triple break at the 1/3 pattern. That 1/3 pattern right at the halfway point of this map and cut all these scores directly in half, looking at the triple 500k versus the 800k from PA for this score differential.
And I didn't realize she had a break towards the end there. Did end up getting the 800k. No one really coming too close to it. Besides Kahes, about 200k away. Kind of shows the dominance of Fier. He's been around tournament seed for a while. Has been the captain for the French team for OWC. So, yeah, this is not a surprise coming out of Fier whatsoever. All right, how do Unks and neph follow this one up? Really gonna try to stay away from the controlled picks. That DT2 ban must be like a red herring or something.
I think I like free mod 1 for Unks and neph. It demands a little bit more hard rock comfort for the team, as well as some hidden consistency that can be proven with Kahes and Fier in that map. But no, it's going to be the DT3, and I mean, this is an interesting pick. We're going to be seeing Iso Bayan probably for the first time on Gatoland for this map, the speed specialist for the Gatoland team. But Hypercolor by Nick, 270 burst action, very short map, just about TV size after DT conversion, minute 30.
Wait, is this a custom song? I don't remember.
Oh no, this is another old one.
Okay.
Hidden one was custom though.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was just making sure, because Krymek is a composer. Has been making songs for Res Cup for quite a while, so I had to make sure. Alright, this is the first like true mechanics pick we are going to be seeing here in this match. This will, give us a little bit of insight on how we're going to see picks go on here, because the free mod 3 exists. I believe that's the mechanics free mod, so I can see a potential pick on that depending on who wins the DT3. Alright. Well, I imagine since this will be a first mechanics map, I expect to see some substitutions here. I can see a left staying in for this and Kaheps. As far as from Gatoland, I don't know who are the big mechanics players, but I expect to see probably a Biter Skull in there. And Neko at the least. I think the third will be up to grabs. Let's see, looks like the map is starting here. Gonna be getting to that. And we're gonna be seeing Jap White come in here for the very first time for the DT3 mechanics. And it is not 4.84 stars. It's around, what, 7.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I mean, very volatile map, very easy to combo even if you aren't a speed specialist, but it's going to be the uber aims that strike you out as Nekori finds the first break. And I mean, with Issa Bayon not being in for this map, it makes me think he is unfortunately not present for this match. Monty doing a little bit of mashing up in the top there. But that by default makes this a way stronger pick for Unks and neph, just making advantage of the available roster of their team. It's Jap White with the trade a little bit later. Nikore on this recovery combo will be enough to bring it back, but the accuracy difference, 88% accuracy, and Monty is going to be slashing that score. I mean, you see the FC comparison with the 96 next to him is a 80k score difference just due to the act drops. So it's going to be another break necessary for Unks and neph if Gatoland wants to get this break point, but it's a 150k difference and anything can happen in this final third.
Hey, I believe in the Monty double tap method, man. Don't you put him down. All right. Oh, now we get into the triples, doubles. It will be catching out Monte. There goes Jap White and Kahes, and there goes Fighter's Skull. Neko still holds on to a 500 combo, but won't be up against a left. And left finds a break. Will be enough. There's just a sliver of map left. Neko does have to hold on. He finds a break. Unfortunate. And that will be given up this point to Unks and neph. We'll be consolidating the breakpoint from earlier, making it 3-2. But as far as breakpoints is concerned, it's pretty much equalized at this moment, and it's kind of like this plays like a regular, back and forth match.
Yeah, back to a consistent pick for Unks and neph, and I mean, the triple one miss for the side of Gatoland, but the story was more in the accuracies for some of these players. I mean, Kahest with the 95, Jap White with the 96. Very strong stuff as Aleph put on the carry pants and got that 3 miss towards the tail end. 900k, highest score in the lobby.
Yeah, very expected performance from Aleph. He's definitely a very well-known DT player and speed player, and just all around kind of holds the same skill sets as Emrek in in mind. And there's no restrictions on picks and bans, so Gatoland can pick Hidden 2, which is the only other hidden map, so not what I would expect out of Gatoland whatsoever. Unless it's just a reverse psychology going on here. This would be the last pick I suspect out of Gatoland, and yeah, they are going for the Hidden 2.
Yeah, going for some of the reading difference here, and I mean, an interesting route to go after that hidden one, but I don't think it's a bad idea. Again, the hidden one was circumstantial loss. I mean, the triple break on the 1/3 section was just deeply unfortunate, but I don't think they're out of winning a hidden map because of that circumstance. So, not a bad pick for Gatoland, and again, this is a very learnable map early stage in comparison to the difficulty of the hidden 2 in qualifiers.
I believe this is one of the non-customs? No, okay, it's a custom map. Never mind.
Oh no, this is this is another tournament classic map.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I'm looking at the... yeah, never mind. Alright, I'm very curious on how I expect Gatoland to perform on this map. Out of quals, Unks and neph did get nil score on Hidden 2, while Gatoland got 580 on Hidden 2. So, I actually expected this to get banned by Gatoland, and here they are picking it. Oh no. Will my predictions hold up, and this is going to be a flop, or does Gatoland just pop off out of nowhere? We'll see. Alright. We'll see Left, Era, and Fia here for Unks and neph, Fighter, Lurman, and Neko here for Gatoland.
Yeah, a lot of these strikeouts in this map are going to be focused on not over-aiming some of these rounded triples, as well as distinguishing when a pattern is to be single tap versus triple, because you have a lot of similar spacing in the reading here, but the spacing doesn't change when the rhythm changes. So it's going to be focused on that density reading as well as some overlap reading towards the tail end. These linear single taps, don't want to over-aim or over-tap any of these, and that break from Ira is going to be a score lead comeback for Gatoland as the double break actually comes through. Aleph following it up, but it's traded by Vitor Skull and Nakora, and it's VA versus Lyraman towards the early half of this map.
Yep. It is Lumen versus Fiat at the moment. Another break coming out of Vitor Skull and no trade so far. And I'm very curious on why they picked this into Unks and neph. As you can see here, just by the accuracy comparison, Unks and neph are favored to take this point here. And it is about a 100k score lead for Unks and neph as we get to, I guess, the slower section of the map. Still very reading intensive here. And yeah, it's all on Lurement to try to hold down this FC here against Fiei. And honestly, I think it has to be a break from Fiei for Gatoland to even have a chance of gaining this point here. But there's recovery on Neko, but more bricks coming out of Vitor Skull here. Not too much of a reading player. And yeah, no trades coming out of Unks and neph whatsoever. Left and Era have recovered at around 450, 430 alike. And yeah, it's just a very, very huge lead for Unks and neph at the moment. 200k, got a third of the map left. Still not impossible as long as Lurman holds in those breaks coming out Unks and neph. They might have to have a triple break. There goes Era, but there also goes Neko and Vitor Skull. And I don't think there's really enough support coming out of Vitor or Neko to really make this even possible. There goes a left though. Might be possible to see a break from Fiei, but I highly doubt it's going to come that easy. And I actually, looking at it right now, I don't think there's enough potential score left for Gatoland.
Yeah, unfortunately, this map is over. Off of the back of this VAFC, Lyraman doing his best to match, but unfortunately not having the backup in this moment. And I mean, if you are a lower seed, you have to err on the side of a little bit of gambling here and there in terms of the practice of your higher seeded opponents. So maybe that was the gambit here for this pick. Maybe hoping that Unks and neph weren't well practiced, but the consistency in the team scores show it differently. 1 million for Fiei on the one-sided break just towards the end. Lowest score 464k versus the 200k on Vitor Skull, unfortunately being made to fill the hidden two.
And Fiei here, getting half of the team score here kind of shows you the dominance he portrays here in this match. And this is actually kind of the skill set too. You'll see him play the head and twos in OWC as well. And we get a instant no mod 4 pick coming from Unks and neph. Another pick I suspected Gatoland be slightly favored on, but out of quals they were almost quite even on this, so we'll see. It's obviously slightly easier skill set here for the no mod 4 compared to qualifiers, so we'll see how this goes. And right now, Unks and neph are looking at match point right now. One more point, and they're going to be advancing on to round of 16 winners. And if Gatoland doesn't, get these next two picks, we're going to be facing an early loss here. But, being this low of a seed against a 9 seed, I'd say 2 points is definitely a comparable score, comparable performance here, all things considering. So it would be nice to see a TV sometimes weekend for sure, but it's not always doesn't always seem to happen here, especially in round of 32 where it's like very, very one-sided typically, especially in round of 32 matches.
Yeah, good luck. Have funds in the chat for No Mod 4 Land of the Lustrous. Here we are with some extra control tech. And I mean, generally tech is in favor of the higher seeded team just in terms of difficulty. You have a lot more complexity in maps like this, and generally that favors more tenured tournament players. So we'll have to see if that method of madness continues to hold here as Yera, Fiei, and Kahest going for the main core trio on Unks and neph to try and bring this match to a close.
Monte and Kahest break out exact same object here, so score will still be kind of even. I think slight act lead on the side of Unks and neph. Monte does have the 92%, but so far the act's not looking too strong on Unks and neph either. And Neko actually with the 99% going into this first Ki here. And might I add, this is a custom song for the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you to Ada for the song.
Yeah, seemingly so. Monty and Fie to trade towards his tail, and Monty not having the greatest of times with this map, but the break from Vitor School, it's Nekore versus the world now. Still only a 25k difference. This is one of the longer maps in this pool at 330. If one of these breaks comes through for Unks and neph, it's going to be Nekore in a very good position. You have these buzz sliders alternating, no double striking out, but it's the control slider missing. The slider pick is Kahes. We'll have to see if it's Bancho, but it doesn't seem like it as another one comes through, and it's Yera versus Nekore now. Recovery combo in favor of Vitor Skull at our 1/3 mark. Big doubles to strike out Fie, and now it's opposite day. Yera against the world. And Nekore matching that FC basically means Vitor Skull and Monty have free combo during this section, but the slider break comes through at the halfway point.
Yeah, very unfortunate slider break there. Vitor Skull and Monte are there to kind of pick up the slack, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And yeah, slight 80k, exactly 80k score lead for Gatoland. Era is gonna have to put on the carry pants here. They are kind of suffering with the 92% act. Neko does have a 97% act along with Vitor Skull, so it seems like more favorable act-wise for Gatoland, so they should be able to put up a little bit of a defense here. But Kies and Fie are there with the support for Era, and Era finds a break, and it will be only traded by Vitor Skull. Monte is there to put on the carry pants for Gatoland. They are still holding, but it's still not guaranteed quite yet. We still got a quarter of the map left, and Monte does have the highest combo, but Kahes and Fie combined combo should be enough to attack, and there goes a break from Kahes, and now is a definite for sure lead for Gatoland. Can Monte actually hold out? And Monte is gonna find a break. Will Fie's score be enough? They are holding out here, 25 and counting, and Fie finds a break, and it's just Neko and Era with the combos along with Vitor Score, and we're getting to these ending patterns here, and it looks like by the skin of their teeth, Gatoland will be taking this break point and will be looking to make their last and final pick to take us potentially to tiebreaker.
Gatoland, they have to win their final point, but that was such a strong showing on the tech map. Nekore getting that combo early on. Overall, the accuracies matched. It was about team consistency on the day. Only this 50k score difference was the difference between some early breaks, some later breaks, and a little bit of accuracy. And Gatoland, by the skin of their teeth, closest map differential so far, continues to survive here. They need to win this next pick. It is their decision. It is their match to lose at this point, or their match to bring the tiebreaker now as the final map pick. And I mean, we still have a whole free mod pool remaining. We have a no mod 1. And I would imagine they avoid Hard Rock 1 because of how dominant that Hard Rock 2 was for the first pick on Unks and neph. So if I'm them, I'm probably going free mod 3 for the anti-mod maybe. It's kind of scary. It's either free mod 3 or no mod 1 in my eyes.
I think they just go no mod 1 here. Honestly, they're actually going free mod 2. Interesting enough. This will be our mechanics map. Why are we going to mechanics?
This is, I mean, I suppose this is about consistency, right? No mod 1 is a hard map to be consistent on. That DT3 was a very hard map to be consistent on with those 270 bursts, but this is a lot more accessible. You're looking at CS3, you're looking at 230 BPM, you're looking at avoiding some higher approach rate because the hard rock caps you out at that AR 10. and Hard Rock very comfortable on this map because of the CS3 base. It's going to be 3.9 after Hard Rock. So Hard Rock players are pretty comfortable here. The 230 tapping is fairly accessible in comparison to DT3. I can see the vision here. I'm just not sure if it'll be enough against such a strong mechanics team such as Unks and neph. So gonna be going into this backs against the wall, and they go into the tapping free mod as their final pick.
Oh wow. Well, this is quite something, and a little bit on the free mod rules here if you don't see it in the chat. Basically, there are no mods. It's got to be a hidden only, hard rock only, and then the third player can take whatever they like, except for no mod. Or just no fail, so yeah. So you can't rely on that one carry player, put them on the no fail, and have them get an FC. Everyone's got to take a mod. I imagine this one's probably gonna be more hidden favored than hard rock favored, so I probably expect more hidden mods here. Probably expect Jap White to go in here along with Lef and Kahes. Those are the mechanics players for Insurgent. If I'm basing off DT3 roster, it's gonna be a Biter Skull, Lurman, and Neko potentially. I think Biter Skull is actually gonna be probably gonna be the hard rock player. The other two probably gonna be the hidden players potentially. But to be found out here in a little bit. Do see the MP start command here, so gonna get this one started. Potential last map, or we go to potential TV. We'll see. Of course, I'm hoping for the latter. Unks and neph might feel differently, but we'll see. Last map. Last pick map underway is going to be 3 minutes and 10 seconds, so quite average time. Not short and not long.
This is some interesting mod decisions, I think. It's going to be Unks and neph with the double hard rock, which this map, in my eyes, is significantly easier on hard rock. You are avoiding that AR9 density on the 230 BPM, but so far, it's going to be an advantage, mainly due to accuracy. First break coming through for Jap White. Aleph matching for a 20k lead on Gatoland early. It's going to be about this early combo, but this is a very carryable map. You're looking at single tap stamina during some of these trickier sections as well. You're in between the tapping. You have these single tap stacks that really kind of demands your 230 stamina in more ways than one. A lot of these buzz sliders kind of demanding that you aren't just whiffing. You have to hold some of those. And so far, this is looking very strong as Jap White and Aleph having a hard time finding their consistency on this map in comparison to that DT3.
I mean, the sheer density of this map is the reason why I thought the hiddens might be harder, to be quite honest. Obviously, with hard rocks, it's harder to be consistent, just due to the nature of the mod itself. But yeah, it's almost a 3-way FC for Gatoland. Looks like Neck had a very early break. That's gonna be inconceivable. But oh, there goes a break from Lurman, and this does give Unks and neph the chance to take this one back. There are no trades so far from Unks and neph, so they do have a slight advantage here. There goes a left, though, and whatever advantage they had has just gone to the win. Still a double FC on Biter Skull and Neko. We are about third of the way left, almost a quarter of the way left here. 200k score lead for Gatoland. Not quite guaranteed yet. Gonna have to wait just a little bit more here, and then we'll see if we go to a potential TV or not for our very first match. And there goes another break from a left there. Kahes is the only saving grace for Unks and neph. And 300k score lead and growing. There goes a break from Lurman, but Lurman doesn't have the big combo. And man,
Yeah, I mean,
is it safe to call? Oh, there goes a break from Neko. Possible chance it is traded. Oh
yeah,
man, I don't think it's possible.
It might have been possible if Jap White held, but unfortunately they did miss a very close proximity to each other. So Nikori looking good for that break, and I mean, doing the job well is Vitor's goal for the... No.
Wait.
No.
Oh my god, that score is going down
not enough time.
quick. Oh
There's
man.
just not enough time. But
okay, yeah, that was not enough time. That got scary though. That got very, very scary.
Yeah, that went way faster than I anticipated. Like, it went from 200k to 150k in like 1 second. I got real scared for a moment, but It is tiebreaker time. It is tiebreaker in the first streamed match of Resurrection Cup 2025, and Gatoland versus Unks and Neph go in the distance for our custom tiebreaker. It's going to be Trail Towards Home by Riverism.
Oh man, this is such a banger tiebreaker song, and I forgot we have vocals on these custom songs, which is always nice to hear. Wait, is this where a Crime raps, if I'm not mistaken?
Oh no, that was the Free Mod 3, but no, this is
that was Free Mod 3.
Ethereal Winter on the vocals here with some Sugoi backing instrumental on our custom song, custom tiebreaker for our round of 32 now. Gonna be very excited to see it played, and I mean, first match, what a treat.
And there's the at here ping. Yeah, everyone get ping. I don't care. Very first match going on TV, I think it deserves that at the least. And that way everyone has the opportunity to see the custom song we have here for Resurrection Cup. What a treat for us. For staff and spectators, honestly. To see this unfold like the way it did. Might I say, like, kudos to the graphics teams. Like, looking at this overlay is honestly something else. This is just absolutely this gotta be like one of the best graphics I've ever seen, honestly. And it looks like we might have a potential timeout here.
Okay, timeouts are allowed. Much to the dismay of the crowd, I would imagine, who are excited to see this played. But you talk about some strategy here. Having a look-see at the map, you have some pretty standard stats. It's going to be the AR 9.7, the 180 BPM, a little bit of tech elements in here as well. Going to be looking towards some of their Flames players, but if No Mod 4 is any indication, there is a tech advantage on the side of Gatoland. Just the familiarity there with some of the buzz sliders in that map was very comfortable for them, especially with a player like Nakore, who seems to be the main tech specialist for that team.
Alright. Yeah, I expect probably bring out the core 3 players here. Yeah, it's got tech, aim, it's got all, it's got the works here on this custom TB. So I definitely want to bring out your all-rounders here. I expect Aleph in here. I expect Fia in here. Probably Kahesh, honestly, the core 3 players for Unsinef. Gatoland probably gonna be Neko. Maybe Lureman in here also. And it looks like the 2-minute now for the timeout is starting now, so still got some time there. I imagine these players are going through the map right now to make sure to watch out for any unsight readable patterns, potentially.
For sure, yeah. And with it's interesting that you mentioned a player like Learman, who has a very vast hidden comfort. Gonna be probably able to do so, assuming this has some standard tournament rules with the free mod on the tiebreakers, so that optional hidden likely to be available. But very excited to hear our custom song, custom tiebreaker. I imagine players filtering back into the lobby now, 2 minutes after that timeout. But ready up on the way, and here we go. First tiebreaker, first match of the tournament. Trail Towards Home by Riverism. Song made by Sugoi and Ethereal Winter.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are only in round of 32. These customs songs and maps don't stop here. They definitely go out throughout the rest of the tournament. So this is just a sneak peek on what's to come here. And now we finally get into our tiebreaker now. Trail Towards Home. And here we have Aira, Fie, and Aleph for Unsinef. No Kahes for Gatoland. We are going to have Neko, Lurman, and Monty. And like you said, Lurman is on the hit, and we'll be finding one of the first breaks here. And there are no trades. It is a 5-minute map, so that early break might not matter here. We'll see.
Yeah, having a hard time with some of these early 1/3 snap patterns in the accuracy and the combo department now. For a handful of players on Gatoland is a little bit of an unfortunate start, but nothing to write home about. Of course, Monty, he mentioned in the chat, this map does feature a handful of rhythm changes that are going to be striking out that accuracy quite a bit early on. The tournament familiarity of some of the players on Unks and neph going to be finding the equalizer on the tiebreaker bets. Aleph to match the combo break from Learman early on for a advantage to the other way, trying to claw back this 20k, but the accuracy a little bit too stark of a difference during this first moment of the map.
Accuracy kind of struggling on Lure, man. We get to the flow aim section here, and no one gets tripped up on it, and everyone's holding their big combos. And I think it is a combo lead for Gatoland. They are lacking in accuracy due to Lureman. That's probably because he's going hit. And there's another break from the left, not to be traded out here yet. Oh, but a double break from Monty, and Lureman is going to seal it on the combo advantage for Unks and neph here. And they will be taking on the score lead. And we are only according to map left. We still got 3 cores left to go. It's almost a 6-minute map.
Yeah, and this is a scary start to this map. It's Nekore, as he did on the Nomad 4, playing solo ball early on. It's Yera to find the trade there on the slider stream. VA, during the rhythm changes, drops a little bit of accuracy. It's Nekore with the highest in the lobby, but not the lowest combo with that early break. Lyraman matching means no combos on the side of Gatoland, and it is the French superstar, the 4WC carry for the France team, pulling his weight once more in Resurrection Cup. The number 9 seed not allowing the upset to be had yet, as the score difference is already skyrocketed, ballooned to a 140k and growing.
And yeah, we get to this break section here. Fie with the only S rank in the lobby, only FC in the lobby. And there goes Monty with another break. And yeah, no trades from Unks and neph. Aleph and Era do hold their supporting combos to Fie. And yeah, Fie is just gonna pop off on these like time and time again. Honestly, not a surprise to see Fie perform like they have all match. And another break coming out of Lureman here. Neko kind of gaining some sort of recovery here, but it's not going to be enough as the low. And there goes a break from Fie here, dropping on the FC. And oh, there goes the left too. And it's going to be Era to put on the carry pants now. It's going to kind of pick up the dead weight here. Neko now with the highest combo in the lobby, but it's gonna be real. Oh, then with the break from Neko, it's almost gonna be close to impossible to make a 250k turnaround here. And I don't want to call it just yet because we still got over a third of the map left, but still, I don't know if it's possible or not. As we get to this next break section here, this got to be deteriorating on the mental now, being from Gatoland.
Yeah, this is likely to be done and dusted. I mean, looking at the team score comparison, that is the saddest break I've ever seen from Era. But looking at the team score comparison, the 160Ks on Gatoland versus the triple 240K plus on Unks and neph, just the potential on the lows. This wide angle aim section gonna drop combos across a handful of players, but it's not gonna matter at this point. Nekore had to hold on to the FC for the rest of the map, and needs a little bit more backup, but wait just a moment. There is the Nekore hold here, but that break from Learman is gonna do it. Learman had to hold on to his 200 for the rest, I would imagine, but unfortunate falter from Gatoland, but pulling their weight, bringing this match to tiebreaker back against the wall off the back of that Nomad 4 break point was absolute cinema, regardless of end match results. The first stream match of Res Cup brings it to tiebreaker, but the higher seeded team likely to prevail towards our final moments, as it's all eyes on Nekore just for the cinema of this combo. The 800 combo towards the tail end is definitely no slouch.
Honestly, you know, FA did get, 1.2k combo, and that's what needs to be done by someone on the side of Gatoland to have a chance of winning this. And yeah, with the map left and how much scores left on screen, with very long maps as this one, 200k, even 100k is super hard to turn around here in a TV setting. And, Neko's doing everything they can. They will find a break, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin there as we get to these ending patterns, these closing patterns. And, yeah, Unks and Nephs will be getting their fifth and final point on the board here in TV, kind of showing, the true strength of the 9th seed here. They almost got low SR'd, but they did hold on what needed to be done.
Yeah, very solid scores across the board. The 6 miss from Iera, the 1500 combo from PA, and Aleph with that consistent 336k off the back of him. But Nakore with the 3 miss, definitely no slouch in his own right. Just needed a little bit more backup from his team. But Unks and Neph not allowing the seed upset early, not allowing the faltering quite yet as they take this first Resurrection Cup match. And ooh, look at this graphic. This is nice. Shoutouts to them for that W.
Yep, that will be a win for them. And I don't know why it doesn't show the right team. Should be showing Unks and Neph here. That's unfortunate.
I've never seen these players in my life, but that's okay. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I fixed it. I had to refresh it. But yeah, those are our victors here, and that's going to be it for today. Only one match here today. The very first match was actually played at 1 UTC Friday earlier, but we weren't quite prepared for that one, but we were prepared for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate miss there with the early morning stream, but thank you all for watching. Thank you to Cheese for the stream. Thank you to all of our graphic designers. Looking at this has been a treat, and I get to see this for about 1 more month with this tournament ongoing. And final shout out to Wooding. Feel free to do exclamation mark, I believe exclamation mark Wooding in the chat, or is it sponsored? Or
either or
along those lines?
Yeah, either or.
But yeah, big shout outs to them for sponsoring Resurrection Cup this year. Feel free to get a keypad or keyboard of your choosing. Very high quality stuff over there. But thank you all for watching. We'll be seeing you tomorrow for our continued coverage of Resurrection Cup. See you then.
See you, everybody. Bye-bye.